Hello friends, it's Dan here from Other Miniatures, and today we are working on a Jeep build for Diecast Mafia. And you may be wondering, why did I bring this car out? Yeah, this, whatever is the name of it, Hotoroto. Yeah, first of all, I love this car. Yeah, it's one of the coolest, fantasy-ish cars that was released recently. And secondly, we're gonna be using part of it for our build. So we decided it's supposed to be Jeep-esque, Jeep-like build. That's not necessarily a Jeep per se. So I have this police car, which is a generic brand, yeah, and it looks Jeep-ish enough. I do have like two different. Do have like two different pieces of Jeep. I have this one. And I have somewhere an orange one as well, but I'm not gonna be looking for it. But yeah, I already prepared the Hotoroto. I cut out his bottom, yeah. And what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be cutting out the front of this Jeep-esque car, and we're gonna be merging them, yeah. So just shabang, put the cut in here. Of course, I don't know how to do explosions, so yeah. What we're gonna do, just snippity snip around this, and then we're gonna glue it together, and then we're gonna figure out where to go from there. Yeah. So I want to preserve as much as I can of the car, like always, because maybe one day we're gonna use that front for something else. And now let's try to cut this. I'm assuming that I'm gonna have to do some more cutting, but the bonus with this plastic kit is it's easy to cut. Yeah, I don't have to struggle with this. And now let's see. So I want to keep the glass as much as I can, so it's gonna be merging one glass into the other. So let's just cut this and see how it's gonna look like. And there's gonna be some patchwork necessary on the sides, but I think that I have roughly the idea. Of course, we're gonna have to cut out this as well. And so I need to cut it in here, well, a little bit more actually. So probably around the legs area. Probably something like that. Yeah, surprisingly, it is not that hard. Yeah, it's just I need to keep the back here, so it's not gonna. So I'm gonna have the back board to the entire car, because otherwise it's gone. Yeah, and again, it's not fitting very snugly right now. What did I do wrong? Oh yeah, I didn't put the glass in. The other way around. This is crazy how badly this isn't working. Okay, and now I need to cut the other side as well. And we're gonna have to glue that glass in, because it's driving me crazy. So there we go. Super glue in and stay. And now this car, I'm gonna be keeping the glass in, so I'm just gonna super glue it in here, because everything is falling apart because we cut half of the cars off. Yeah, so it have a good reason to be falling apart. All right. And now for this to fit in here. See, I'm actually half tempted to just leave the entire insert and just cut out this and only leave the back of the seats to make it easier. Let's just go with that, because I only need that part to be visible in the window, in the back. So I mean this part here. I probably was outside of the screen. And I just drop it. Just my luck today. Where is it? You know, whenever you drop something like that, you cannot find it later on. Got it. Got it. So that's gonna go like that, just to fill up that gap. So what I gonna do? I just gonna glue it. Yeah. Again, it's just to make my life easier in the future. So this is attached, and now I need to squeeze this in. Which actually, if I cut this out, I can probably use that for something else in the future. So let's just do that. Just cut it here. Alright. And now, I don't know how good it's gonna look like, but we're gonna merge this like that. So there's gonna be a lot of gluing, yeah? And then I'm gonna have to figure out this, because this is gonna be part of the support, but I need to cut this in half. So I'll be back once I have this, you know, cut. So we lifted the car, we added some weapon, a little bit of armor, but I think that this is good enough. I don't really have to go any further. I think it is gaslantified enough. Yeah, and with those giant wheels, it just looks awesome. So now it's time for painting. So I'll be right back. I spray painted the car in orange, and then I was trying to do the leopard print, you know, not leopard print, like a wildcat print, so you know, just black stripes on it. And I cover it in a masking tape, but unfortunately the masking tape tore up the paint job, so I needed to come back and re-spray it again. So yeah, it's like a couple of hours later, but we can actually fix it. So instead of spraying the black stripes, I gonna add them manually, which yeah, I'm not gonna say that I'm good at, so we will see how it's gonna turn out. But let's just give it a chance, you know. Maybe I'm gonna be decent at it, maybe I'm gonna be horrible at it. Yes, I'm just wanting to have stripes going like this way all over the car. So we're gonna start from the very front. I'm just gonna, and they don't have to be regular, actually it's better if they are irregular. Yeah. So there we go, first one, which isn't so bad so far. Let's see how I can do with another one. It's a little bit more complicated when you have, you know, complex shapes coming in. So yeah. And you know what, like the only thing, it is a, I don't know, tiger print, yeah, whatever you call it. So I want to keep the lines kind of smooth, not rugged. So that's probably gonna be the biggest challenge for me. But yeah, let's give it a chance. It's actually going better than I was expecting, so I'm shocked. So this is gonna extend through here. So it's just like I'm trying to figure this out as I go. You know that painting is my least favorite part of this entire hobby, so it's a little bit challenging for me. But this is gonna go something like that, so probably around here. And then around here. Yep, this isn't bad. I think that is actually coming out fairly well. So now I'm gonna start from this side, because otherwise I don't gonna have the good point of reference. And surprisingly, it's been like, 12 hours since I spray painted everything, and the wheels are still a little bit tacky. So yeah. It just might be the nature of the rubber that they are made from. So okay, that isn't too bad. And I know it is almost as interesting as watching the paint dry. But if you want to try that, I highly recommend. It is actually easier than I was expecting. Just it would be much faster with the spray paint and much more even. Okie doke. Like, I wasn't thinking it's gonna be a safari vehicle, but it definitely is turning into one. Oh, I completely forgot to paint the armor plating black, so let's just do that while I have the black paint. This is literally the only piece of armor plating that are attached to it, which, well, excluding those two checkerboards thing to connect the two cars, because I didn't want to play with the gap filler. But still, I have fun with this car. I was wondering if I actually am on the camera right now or not. Right. As I can see, I have like a blob of black paint in here, so we're gonna try to get that covered with the black belt of the tiger print, I guess, because leopard print would be dots, I guess. They can probably just do this to show that this one was extending there under the armor. Right, and I'll be back after I finish this. Okay, so the tiger print is done. It's still quite wet, so I need to be careful not to mess it all up, because I have tendency of putting my fingers into wet paint. But now let's just go with the traditional, black and white checkerboard, the orcish checkerboard. I don't know, it's cool, to have that stuff. I don't know, I just like it. All right, so one side, and now let's try to copy it on the other side. All right. When you have all of the squares access to from the side, it's so much easier to actually paint them. Especially with my painting skills, which are atrocious. Alright, now I really need to give the paint some time to dry, so I'll be right back. I think that the black paint is almost dry, so let's just throw some metallics on. So I have a makeup brush here. Let's just give it a little bit of a wiggle on the dry palette and see. So we need to do the insides of the wheel wells. Wheels? No, wheels, not wheel wells. Wiggle. As you can see, those wheels, after paint, they are not as good as they used to be, but now the engine block and the exhaust. I was thinking about extending the exhaust pipes, making something bigger, but why change something that already looks good? Well, for a video, I guess, but that was my way of thinking with this one. Wiggle. Just give it a little bit more in here. So as you can see, I tried to get into with the paint inside, but it didn't really want to cooperate. So yeah, a little bit here, and then the gun. Just quick dry brush, and the middle of this tire. Oh, it was still wet. All right. Just give it just a little bit of a wiggle. Now it's just too much paint in there. All right, so I have one thing done. Now, I really want this to be a cool looking car, so let's grab something blue to paint the window. Yep, the Beowulf blue. Not window, windows. We have multiple of them. And we have the side ones as well. All right. And where is the whitish color for the squares? Is that the one? Blinding light, yeah, that's the light gray color. So we're gonna throw it in here. Obviously it's not gonna be perfect because it is a very transparent color, but I don't mind. Alright, so we have that done. Now, do I actually have like a mess up brush? This one is bad enough, I guess. So we can do some weathering. Well, oh, I don't know what just fell off, but something did. So we have a scorched brown, I have bestial brown, I have graveyard earth. All of those paints are, well, not of the worst condition, I guess. At least some of them, but not of the best one either. So what I'm gonna do, actually I'm just gonna grab that dry palette because I have a space for paints in here. We're gonna try to scoop out a little bit of each color. Yeah, so we have that brownish. Then I should probably clean that brush, but I really don't mind. I don't care about those paints all that much. Then we have this brownish. And we're gonna grab this one as well. Ah, it's very watery even though. Come on. I'm trying to grab some more of a pigment. Alright. So I have my 3 colors, so I'm gonna start from this one, then I'm gonna add the other 2. Yeah, and we're just gonna go a little bit on the wheels. Because I'm assuming that this is gonna be modded up. Well, modeled, dirtied up. Yeah, just because this is a heavy duty truck. It probably did spend some time in the mod, and I already pressed my finger against the fresh paint like 3 times, so yeah. Well, 4 times. Let's not be surprised, you know, it's nothing new for me. Alright, and while the paint is still dry, we're gonna apply next layer, darker one. Even though I should probably do it the other way around, the dark should go first. But, you know, who really cares? At this point it is just messing about with the paints. So let's just give it a little bit of a wiggle here and then just drag it along. It just, you know, because of this, how little of the attention I pay to it, it's gonna be fairly random, which that's how dirt should be, I guess. And then we can add the last layer of this color. Alright, and in here. And the last wheel. Yep, and then here. Okay, now the front, we're gonna dirty it up because definitely it's gonna be muddied up. You can see that I didn't manage to close the gap in the front, so it's kind of messed up. And we can as well cover, you know, whatever mistakes I made before with this muddy layer. We can add a little bit here and there. Let's try to squeeze it into the wheel wells here to cover that white color. Well, it seems good enough for me. So we have this. Now, I was thinking about adding some rust, but the entire thing is already orange and black, so that would show up nowhere. Yeah, well, I have a rust effect in here, so I may try just adding a little bit of it somewhere, but I'm really not convinced that it's gonna make massive changes to the entire thing. Yeah, like, you know, I can add it to the engine block because that's what is you know, what can be roasted in here. They can add it, you know, in other places, but like I said, I really don't think that rust effect is gonna bring much of a change to the car in general. Still, let's give it a little bit of a swirl and see, you know, if it's gonna actually do anything. Well, it does. It looks a little bit weird. Huh? It's gonna probably need an hour of drying after this. Okay, I think that is enough. There is only one more thing that I noticed that I didn't do correctly. Oh! And that is a dry brush of the front window of the car, the metal security teeny weeny. So where did I put the metallic paint? There it is. Oh, I'm very organized, as you can see. Very, very organized. So it's not even gonna be dry brush, it's just gonna be wet brush. And there we go. That's it. Let's give it time to dry and then throw it on the spin table or something. So here we have the car, you know, fully done. I know that it's not my usual spin table, but I still didn't found it, so yeah, it is finally done. I see that the guys already posted their videos. So there you go. That's my one, done and dusted. There is a lot of, you know, ideas that I would never really try before in here. So I'm quite happy with the effect. It's you know, kind of reminding me of the big car from the Mad Max movie, the Fury Road, and yeah, I'm actually happy with how it turned out. So if you like it, you know what to do. Rate, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, family, and whoever else wants to watch it. And everyone have a great day and take care. Bye bye.